Yesterday I was going to create folding legs that were going to be attached to the underside of the desk itself, the tabletop. But I don't know why I did that. I saw a TikTok video last night, and so what I'm going to actually do is attach the swinging legs to the wall. So simple, because it's be a lot sturdier. So I should attach them and let them swing out that way underneath the worktop. So much easier and be a lot more sturdy, because it's going to be attached to obviously the house, the brickwork of the house. So I need to put two vertical pieces that I've got. I've got another one of these, so I should just chop that in half, put those down vertically. So I've cut the legs to length. I'm not going to do any special joints. I'm sure a lot of you will say yeah you should, but it's only supporting the downward weight. So I'm not messing around. I'm just going to put two screws in each hole. I'll put a bit of wood glue on it just to try and give it a bit of adhesion as well anyway. I've also cut the legs shorter because the floor isn't obviously level. So when it swings out, the one's longer than the other leg is anyway, I will chock it underneath when I'm going to use the bench. So I'll create some chocks to give the downward pressure, because as I say, it's really only downward pressure that the legs are going to be used for. Frustrated. You know the adage of measure twice, cut once. Can you spot the problem? Cut the legs about 3 inches too short. The result of which I've now got to go and buy some wood, which I was trying to avoid. My life. So despite me cock up a bit earlier on with the cutting the legs too short, I managed to carry on. I've done the upright posts here using the same piece of wood and bolted those to the house. So I've got those both in, and the hinges have just arrived, so I can probably do this one side. So the hinges will go on the vertical upright there, and then I shall obviously hinge that leg on that, and that will fold into the wall. So that should work. And I say I'm going to have to chock underneath the pieces of the legs, because the floor is uneven when I'm using the table, but that's not an inconvenience, to be honest. So we're getting there. So I think I'm there. It's been a little bit of a struggle. It's not the most neatest job in the world, but you'll go on YouTube and you'll go on TikTok and you'll see some fantastic benches people make. That's not one of these. This has been put together with whatever wood I had. I tried to buy minimal amount of stuff, so I had to buy a bit of wood, I had to buy the hinges and bolts, but everything else was just bits and pieces I've had. But I finally got that. I've got something that's usable for me, and that's the main thing. And it folds away. One of the challenges I had was because I didn't design it up front. I've designed as I went along. I got some concepts. I started to hit problems with hinges fouling, etc. So I had to put an extra thickness of beam here to throw the hinges away because it was fouling when it was folding downwards. Those bolts are now in, so that's on the hinge there just to give a bit of extra strength. The legs under here again caused me a little bit of a problem because when they were folding in they were fouling on the hinge up there, so I've had to just relieve the top pieces of wood a bit so when it folds in. I made an error obviously cutting the legs, so I had to buy some wood there, which is a bit frustrating. But the floor's not level here, it's all over the place, so I couldn't get a leg that was going to be acceptable to be swung in and then swing out nicely, not without fouling on it. So what I decided to do is cut the leg short, and then I've put some chocks underneath just to make up when I'm using it, so that's nice and firm and sturdy when it's put fully out. And then I've put a cross beam in. Here's an old piece of wood I've had just to put a strap in, sort of notched it on either side. And that'll just hold it in place to stop the legs folding in under me. I've got a vise on top here that I've had from a friend, which is great. It's been years since I've been trying to put that up. It won't be up permanently. I'll just take it off and put it up when I need it to put it up, but at least I've got the ability now to have a vise on there if I need to. I say I've got it's only a cheap workbench table. I don't know how long that'll last, but at least if I have to replace this, then I just need to get a stronger piece of wood for the top. But I think it'll do for most ththings that I do. I don't do that heavier work. It's mainly laying out things on a flat surface, gluing, small drilling and all that type of thing. As I've always said on this channel, it's not a how to do video, so I do, it's how I did video following other videos. So I think my lessons learned here was probably, if I'd have designed it up front a bit better with the hinges, I probably wouldn't have run into all the fouling with hinges and thought that through a bit more. The amount of times I had to take the hinge off, put it in a different position to get to this point has been a bit frustrating, but that's just a lack of upfront design. But that said, it's all about how you get around problems and solve problems, so that's been okay. Main thing is I've got a workbench.